Hey, ladies and gentlemen, the most anticipated, the most highly touted, the defending NFL champions, the defending AFC champions, the owners, literally, metaphorically, and physically, of the Lamar Hunt Trophy, the Kansas City Chiefs, led by Sir Patrick Mahomes, the Knight Travis Kelsey, and the court owl, I'll call him Chris Jones.
Mm,
Are they even
mm.
gonna lose a game? Yeah, they're gonna lose at least one.
Well, there's a lot of people questioning that actually. We would not be the first to say undefeated. I know that would seem like an extreme homer take, but we're not afraid to give the Chiefs an L. We've seen it last year. You can pull up the tape.
Right,
We called it pretty spot on, and it's always nice when it's your team you're picking to win the Super Bowl.
right. Without a doubt. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll just hop on right in. And a matter of fact, I'll let Mr. KC regale you with the first few wins of the season. Mr. KC, what's our record right now?
Well, to start the season, we are playing the Detroit Lions, a fan favorite of Mr. KC, of mine, and I'm still giving the Chiefs that W. You never want to give Andy Reid extra time to prepare. Something dangerous.
Without a doubt. 1-0. We moving on to the next week. We play the Prince of the
Ooh,
AFC, which is young Trevor Lawrence. But you heard what I said, and the key word in that statement was Prince. The King is coming, which is Sir Patrick Mahomes. Kansas City moves to 2-0. As
and
tradition, Patrick Mahomes don't lose in September.
I was actually afraid to pre-mark that one for some reason. I really thought you might be like, "Oh, this is the Jags this year," and they do have
They
Calvin
are
Ridley
my.
coming
They
back.
are
They
my.
are improving.
The Jags are great, but we're talking about the kingdom here with its high walls and archers. You got to be more than a prince. You got to get a big army, become a king. Next game we got Chicago Bears versus Chiefs, and the Bears always play us really good from a historic standpoint. But that was pre Patrick Mahomes, so we got the Chiefs in this game, 3-0. It's not even a question, Mister
Couldn't
KC.
say it better myself.
Hmm.
Could not say it better myself.
Moving on to prime time, where Kansas City collects his fourth win against the New York Jets because it's the first time Aaron had to play Pat. There's no more running, there's no more ducking, there's no more hiding. But I guess you can figure something out by then. Maybe you get yourself caught up on some peyote. Maybe you say you got turf toe. Maybe do
Mm,
whatever you got to do to continue to avoid this Patrick Mahomes loss. But he keeps dodging because he don't want to be the next great that Patrick Mahomes done beat. He done tore Peyton up. He done beat Tom. He's looking for Aaron. He been looking for Aaron. He's like the Warriors. Patrick Mahomes outside his house. Hey, Aaron, tink, 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 come out and
and
play.
play.
Tink, 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 tink. He
And
can't
I'm
run.
already going to make the prediction that Aaron Rodgers is not going to play this game. There is, we like as you said, there is a turf toe or something
Man.
that will magically come up to make him this 1 week.
So unanimously, I'm sure we have the Chiefs winning this game, moving to 4-0.
Hmm.
The
Yes,
next
sir.
game, we have the Kings of the NFL facing the Kings of the North, formerly, and Kansas City wins this game. I don't even think it's a contest. That's how much
Mm-mm.
the gap is between these two teams. And then moving on to the next week, it's another dub. It's the Broncos. I don't even think we have to. This, Mr.
Mm.
Casey, this is probably going to be the quickest schedule that we've ever done, like
Uh,
in the history. Like I think this will be the fastest one. Folks in the comments, time us to see how quick we got through the Chiefs. Because I mean, the story writes itself. All we do is read
yep. And
it.
this is a consensus win. Tell that
Goodness gracious.
bartender, let's make it a double when they play the Chargers.
Man, eh, I couldn't have said it better, like he said. And then the one thing I will say, like he said, in the words of DJ Khaled, add another one because we play the Broncos again right after
Mm.
that. Like what, dude? We're undefeated at this point. How many wins we got? I ain't even been keeping track because I know we
We're
ain't
at game
lost.
8. We're about halfway through the season here.
So we're 8-0.
Yeah.
And
And then
yeah,
we get
sounds
to
about
go
right.
to Germany. We're going to a Germany game to play the Dolphins.
And we're gonna tear them up. Our overseas records is impeccable. Overseas, and shout out to Clark Hunt for being the pioneer of every NFL overseas game. And like I said, this ain't just Homer takes; it's real NFL talk, bro. Kansas City is real influential in the sport of football, and we deserve more respect as far as not even football, but as far as what we've done for the sport in general. And y'all should
Hmm.
be grateful. You wouldn't have Super Bowls without Kansas City. You wouldn't have overseas play without Kansas City. You wouldn't even have half the teams who won Super Bowls without Kansas City because Lamar Hunt brought them in.
And
So
the
shout
Raiders
out
would
to
have
the Hunt
gone
family.
bankrupt without Lamar Hunt.
Without them, why you think Al Davis paid for Derek Thomas' funeral? He was
Hmm.
grateful for what the Chiefs done to him. We rivals, but at the end of the day, the AFC was a family back then.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that kind of stuff later. But be more grateful, be more appreciative. We're in the best football town in the country. Always have been. But anyway, another dub, another one. Add that to the list. So moving on, after we beat Miami, we got the Eagles. Now this one should be a good game.
Prime time.
It's gonna be a close game. It's gonna be another game that the Eagles lose because Andy Reid ain't lost to the Eagles since he left, and I don't
Mm.
see it starting now. So
And I'm
regular season
actually,
and Super Bowl. Now we can count both of that.
I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to break the streak here.
Don't do it. It
All
ain't
right, let's
time.
not do it. It
It
ain't
ain't time.
time. It ain't time.
This is just realistic football. It ain't time yet. I know when the L is coming, and it's unfortunate. The next game we play, well, I ain't gonna tell you when to pick your L, but I know when I'm gonna pick mine. Unfortunately,
Right. Hell,
next
you
game
go with it.
we got the Raiders. That's sweep season. Good night, goodbye. It's Raider
Yep.
time.
Sweet.
Then we move on to the Packers. Another dub.
Mm.
We beat the Packers every time we've played them since Pat Mahomes has been here, which has been twice. Um, I don't really have too much to say about that. Good night, goodbye. Then after that, we play the Buffalo Bills. And just like I said in the Bills video, more than likely this is a game they'll win, only because somehow they find a way to do it.
No,
So
no,
no,
not this one. This one, this ain't the one for
so
me.
I will retract my statement because I only had the Chiefs possibly losing 2 games on the season, so that means they only losing one. Good night, goodbye to that. Chiefs win this game. Buffalo, good night. I'm gonna have to retract
So,
there too. So Buffalo's going 4-4 and whatever on the season now. I got to take a win off of them. It's so sad.
you
Next
upset a
game
lot
we
of
got,
fans.
yeah, next game they got the New England Patriots. We'll beat them. We've been beating the Patriots, especially in prime time. Uh, I think the last time they got us is because of D Ford, but before then and after that, Alex Smith was even tearing up the Patriots. So you can't tell me nothing about when Kansas City played the Patriots because we got a good track record against them boys. Next game we got the Raiders. Another dub. Christmas. That's Christmas Day. What a gift. Gift for you
Right.
folks out there. See Patrick Mahomes beat the Raiders. And the only loss on the season,
Yep.
the how would I say Buffalo, the Cincinnati Bengals will somehow find a way to beat us to derail our perfect season, even though we'll continue to go on and win the Super Bowl. But this will be the weekend that's most interesting. I'll put an asterisk by it, but this is probably the L on the season for Kansas City because there's something about the regular season in Cincinnati, and this even goes back to the Trent Green days when they busted our 13 and 0 streak. They the one who moves us to 13-1. So maybe Bengals. Joe Burrow, like I said, you the only Bengal I got respect for besides Jamar Chase. No, I like the other receiver too. What's the boy name?
Higgins or
Higgins, T.
Boyd.
Higgins. Yeah, no, I like T. Higgins. Tyler Boyd's okay, but T. Higgins is clearly the better option between those two, in my opinion. Um,
Yeah.
so I'll go with the Bengals here, giving Kansas City the first loss on the season. So we're 16-1 at this point. or yeah, hold on, where are we at?
You'd be 15-1. You got one
15-1.
game left.
Yeah. We're gonna finish 16-1 when we beat the Chargers the last week this season. Then the Shane Buechele Bowl, or you know what? I think it's gonna be Bortles in the Blake Bortles Bowl. That's what it's gonna be. Because for some reason we like Jacksonville quarterback starters to be our backups. Uh, Started off with my
Yeah.
boy Chad Hennington. So it's what it is. Chiefs 16-1 on the season. Number one
Oh,
seed.
I'm actually going to go 15-2. I think we dropped these last two games. I think Andy Reid's going to throw away
I
his
was gonna say
playbook.
that, but then I was like,
Well,
but
because
will
it's
we?
not going to be Pat Mahomes. They messed up the perfect season with Cincinnati, right?
True.
Because
So
they
you
don't
might as
want to
well
show the
sit him.
playbook. There's no win here. They're already going to have the
Yeah,
bye locked up in that second week. There's no advantage for them to really come out here and play super strong in this
that
game.
is smart. So pending the pending this Bengal game, unless Kansas City win that game, you're right. We won't see Patrick Mahomes January 7th. But if
Yeah,
we beat
and
the
at
Bengals
best,
on the
maybe half.
31st, if we beat them on the 31st, trust and believe we'll see Patrick Mahomes on the 7th because knowing him and knowing the accolades he won't, he needs an undefeated season like how Tom
Mm,
Brady had, but he's going to go on to win the Super Bowl to do something that Tom didn't do, which will go ahead and close the gap even further. You heard it here first. That's the storyline. He's closing the gap even further between him and Tom Brady.
yeah, so I have them at 15-2,
I'm
and
gonna
I
still
think
stick with 16-1, man. I'm still stick with
yeah,
that,
it's not a bad pick. And really, this is kind of, I don't want to sound bad, but this is almost an easier schedule than
dude.
what the Raiders even had. This is kind of
Dude,
like
yeah.
it's kind of messed up.
It is, but see, the thing is, we've been on the last almost 3 seasons. We've done had the hardest schedule in the NFL ever since we
Yeah.
started going to the Super Bowl. Ever since we started getting to the championship game, it's like, well, let's try to make it harder for them, and we done hit everything out the park. They don't know what to do now, so now it's got to just balance out.
And I'm right there with you on that one. I think it's got to be. It's. I could see them going with that 17-0, trying to come up to that Tom Brady legacy.
Yeah,
Because if he really did a 17-0 and won the Super Bowl that year, that's a strong argument over. Because you got to start putting stats above Tom Brady, right? That's
that's
what
what
you're
I'm
looking for.
saying.
And that's one of
Exactly.
the few things you can point to and be like, he did that, Brady didn't. Because
Right,
he's already in a deficit with the Super Bowl rings and the head-to-head matchup. Those are going to
right.
be the two big things that kind of
Well, is he?
who's the
Well,
goat.
no, or no? Aren't they 2-2 in head to head?
Yeah, but if you, in my
What
opinion,
magnitude? Yeah,
yeah,
magnitude
yeah, in
advantage.
my
Yeah.
opinion, I'm going to still give it to Tom Brady because I'd rather have won the AFC Championship game and gone to the Super Bowl than being like, well, I won in the regular season. Where
Well, that
you,
ain't on, Pat, man. We was a victim of the rules before. And no offense to anybody, because everybody know black people can't be racist until this cream of the crop, wannabe majestic white boy that they trying to hoist up. Josh Allen came and complained about the rules and got it changed. Had the rules been what they are now in that game, we guarantee the Chiefs would have went to the Super Bowl
yeah,
without a
or at
doubt.
least, or at least it would have been a hell of an overtime game. That
Man,
would have
right,
been for
the
sure.
greatest in history, more
Right.
than likely. But
And
yeah,
that game was an excellent game.
it
It's
was.
it's tough to rewatch just because I lost. But out of all the losses,
Well, that's how I feel
uh,
about that Rams game too. But it was a fantastic game. I do go back and
yeah,
watch. I'm like, damn, boy, these dudes was just going.
yeah, yeah. But that's also like one of the harder games for me to watch is that Cincinnati versus Chiefs AFC Championship
Oh
game that we
God.
lost. But to me, that also makes last season's AFC Championship game just so glorious.
And that's
I've
why I said
now
that's why it
rewatched it.
washes away it washed away all that Burrow talk. Like
It
that's what we
did.
were saying. We got to go back and clip it. Like I said, once they got that win, don't nobody care about that other stuff. Cause Pat is at the ceremony,
Mm,
two ringed up, holding it up. You know what I mean?
mm. Call
Yeah.
me.
All right, call
Look,
me. He talking about
look, it's
Pat
for
who?
the pinky. This one's for the
Right.
pinky.
I'm telling you, boy. I can't wait.